Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. How are you? And hope everybody's okay. Right, I'm Ifeoma. If you're watching me for the first time, if you watched me before, you're welcome back. And sorry, I've not been putting up videos for quite some time. I've been really busy. But today we're going to make a tutorial of how to cut a bodice pattern, because we're going to be needing it to do other projects. So let's get into it. So to do this pattern, you need your ruler, your scissors, markers or pencils, whichever one that suits you. You're going to need the measurements of whoever you're trying to draw this pattern for, and you're going to need a paper you use for the pattern. You can use any paper around your home. You can use a newspaper, or you can buy paper from a Dollar Tree store or a pound store, whichever one in wherever you are. So you're going to need the measurement of the bust, shoulder, hip, shoulder to nipple point, nipple to nipple, armhole length, shoulder to waist, shoulder to hip. So let's get into it. Now I'm going to start with drawing my horizontal lines. So which is first the shoulder to nipple points. So this is my starting line right here, this green line here. So I'm going to start there. My shoulder to nipple point is 12 inches. 12 inches, so I'm going to mark like so. My shoulder to waist is 19 inches. I'm going to mark it right here. My shoulder to hip is 25 inches. So I'm going to mark it right here. So I'm going to extend it this way because I'm going to draw across the marks. 12 inches, 19 inches, 25 inches. So I'm going to use my ruler to connect the dots. So I've finished drawing my horizontal lines. So but before I go ahead, I forgot to tell you, this is going to be the front, so you need two papers, one for the front and one for the back. So first of all, I folded 2 inches away for the zip. So this will be for the zip part of the bodice pattern. So drafting this pattern, we're going to be drafting a quarter of the body, which means one side of the front and one side of the back. That's half, a quarter side of each. So now I've drawn the nipple point and everything, the horizontal lines. So we're going to start with the neck. So the standard of the neck is I'm going to draw 3-inch line on the horizontal side. I'm going to mark it like so, and 3 inches down, 3 inches wide and 3 inches long. So I'm going to use the ruler. So I'm going to use the curve to, if you don't have it, you can just use your hand to draw the curve. So that's the front neck. So for this front, I want to do the front and the back inclusive, so I'm going to transfer it to the other paper. So The back neck will be 1 inch. So this 1 inch, so I'm gonna draw it around now, and I'll curve it. So that's the back neck. So we'll go to the shoulder now. The shoulder is 18 inches, so we're going to use half of 18 inches. So mark the shoulder. Half of 18 is 9. So here is 9. I'll mark 9. So now, because our shoulder is not entirely straight, I'm going to go down at this point by 1 inch. So I'm going to connect this point to the neck. Now, the next thing is to draw our armhole. The armhole is 10 inches. The armhole is 10 inches. So you can get your armhole by measuring around the armhole and divide it by 2. Or you can divide the bust by 6 and add 1.5 to get your the length of your armhole. So the armhole here is 10 inches, and I'm gonna mark it right here and connect it to the shoulder line. Now that's the shoulder line, and this is where the chest is. So I'm gonna draw a line. This is the nipple points and this is the chest. We're gonna be needing this line and along the line. So now, so to draw the arm, I'm gonna measure half of this armhole length is 5. So we're going to come to where 5 is. This is 5. So at this point we're going to come in by 3/4 of an inch here to draw the front armhole, because the front armhole is a little curvier than the back, so that's why we're coming in a little bit. So we're going to draw the armhole, this point to this point and that, to make the curve. So again, if you don't have this tool, you can always draw it with your hands without the tool. Here is the front armhole. So at the same time, I'm going to draw the back armhole, which will be sitting on the armhole length, this here. So I'll draw the front armhole. So this is the back armhole which I've drawn. So the next thing now, we're going to be doing the dart. So the dart, now this is when you're going to need the measurement for the nipple to nipple. So the nipple to the nipple here is 8 inches, so I'm going to use half of it. So we'll come to the chest line here. So we'll come to the nipple point here. You dot your 4 inches and you go to the hip line and also the 4 inches. So now you're going to connect this line, the one on the nipple line, to the hip line. So to start the dart, on the nipple line here, the nipple line, you're going to come down 1 inch, and on the hip you're going to come up 2 inch. Now you come to the waistline. Waistline, you're gonna do 1/2 inch out here and 1/2 inch on the other side. Now you're going to use a ruler to connect these dots to it to form the dart. Hi guys, I'm so sorry, my camera just disappointed me. I didn't know it was not videoing me when I was doing the other part, so it stopped at the that. So I'm going to show you how to do this again. So I'm going to start from where I did finish the dart. So the side dart which we're going to draw. So you find the midpoint between the waist and the bust line. So here's the midpoint. So you go 1/2 inch to the side, 1/2 inch to the side, and 1/2 inch to the other side, this side, and you use the ruler, your ruler, to connect the both side to the nipple points, the bust points here. So because you've used 1/2 inch on the side here, it's going to affect the length of the bodice pattern. So now you go right to the down, the hip part. You add 1 inch to the bottom here. This is where the blue line is. Here, no, this place here. 1 inch to it, and you connect it to this side. So here is, now this blue line here is the sewing allowance I added to it. I added 1 inch to the side and 1/2 inch to the bottom and 1/2 inch to the shoulder line here. Now, as you can see, I've transferred the back armhole onto the older paper here, and the neckline as well, and the neckline, so, and the other part of the body I've transferred, and my horizontal line, and I cut the back armhole and the front neckline out, and so this part is entirely the front bodice pattern. So now here I've transferred the horizontal lines as well, and in the first part I forgot to label them, because that's a very good practice so you don't get confused. So here's the chest line, the bust line, the waist, and the hip line here. Now we're going to do put a dart on the back panel. So the same way we did the front one, we're going to come down by 1 inch from the chest line this time, not from the bust line. So 1 inch from the chest line, 1 inch down from the chest line, and 2 inch up from the hip line. But you're still going to use the measurement of the nipple to nipple, 4 inches on the chest line and 4 inches from the hip line, and you draw your line like so. Now on the way, you now come to the waistline here. On the side you come out by 1/2 inch, and on the other side 1/2 inch. So you connect the dots just like that to this and this, just like we did in the first front part. So here is the dart. You don't need a side dart at the back panel. So here is the hip line here, and the allowance is already in here, so you don't need to do anything else. But the zip line, the zip, sorry, let me just extend the neckline into the zip space. Now, and what we are going to do with this zip, because sometimes you have some like a bulge at the zip line because it's probably too long and too straight. So in order to avoid that bulge, and the waistline here, you come in like 1/2 inch on the waistline here, and you connect it to the hip line yeah, and you also connect it all the way here, and you on the other end of the zip line here, you come in like 1/2 inch as well. You connect it to this line here, and you also connect it to this line here. You can use every line if you want. So here is our new zip line, and the next thing is you cut it out. There you go. That's your bodice pattern, the front and the back. Here is your bodice pattern, and you're ready to use it to cut anything. So thank you very much for watching, and please like and subscribe to this channel, and click on the bell icon so you can be notified whenever I do another video. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.